All right, hi everyone, senior scientist here, and hopefully the audio is okay. I'm using like a webcam from the 1990s or something. Actually, I think it's about 2003 maybe. Yeah. Anyway, I want to show you Wyckoff. This is the accumulation diagram, and it is a pattern to look for that there's other things, indicators to confirm it. Volume is the number one. And this is pretty standard. So this is Ethereum back in 2020 on the chart. And we have our preliminary support, which is right there on the you can see on Wyckoff as your selling climax. Your automatic rally, that sets then this trading region right here. And then you get a secondary test in phase B. And then this is all phase B area here. So all this is, this would all be phase B coming in here. So it actually rises up, goes above the trading region a little bit. And then it'll drop down. A lot of times it'll do a spring. This one didn't have a spring, but see the structures there? That's all the same. I'm bringing this up because let me show you something here. Let me show you. We're talking about Bitcoin Cash. Excuse me. And let me just pull this up. Now, I think I anchored it wrong. But, yeah, I did. Check this out. Yeah, okay. I put on those labels and I think I anchored it. So there's your secondary, okay, selling climax. Let me just make sure I'm recording the right thing here. Yeah, okay. And this one, we did have a spring. Okay, let me make it smoother here. All right, so there's your preliminary support. So it would be right here. Selling climax. I know it's not as clean cut, right? But there it is, anyhow. Sorry, selling. Where did I have that? Yeah, okay. Secondary test. Automatic rally sets the trading region right there. Here we have the secondary test in B, and notice they even have the wedge in there. So you can see kind of where this top is similar now. Let me do this to this top. See that? Comes down. So you can even pick out these features like how kind of goes up. These are, I think, different time frames. Yeah, they're different time frames. So this one does a dip up like that. This one too, dip. Again, different time frames. So they're gonna look a little different. And it comes down, down. And then with this here, we had a spring test. So in other words, it dropped below that trading region. You see the red lines? Okay. That's why I know where we're going here with Bitcoin Cash. Because we have Wyckoff. And then it's confirmed by the volume. And the reason why we had a spring test here and not here is because of the volume. In other words, low volume. So you don't if there's see how there's volume right here, that secondary test in phase B. So there's a lot of supply there. So they'll gather up that supply. If they tested that there and it was very low volume, it wouldn't be much supply. And so they're keeping accumulating. And then they're using human psychology and everything else, getting everybody hopeful. You buy up here, they drop the price again, go into a test, okay? And then from the test here, sorry, not the test, the spring. There's two separate things. Here's your spring. There we are. Here we are right now, okay? So there's your spring. There's your test. This one, it didn't have a spring. Well, unless you want to count that the spring, that'd be okay. And then there's your test. But anyway, so basically from here, what we can expect is to, let's see here. So we come up here, probably for a couple days or maybe a few hours, I don't know. And then we'll get up to here. And here we should start seeing a little bit of this and then going up. So this would match again, Ethereum. See that? See where that tops out right here? You can't see it. There you go. Sorry, those AR and all that stuff is going to move around. But anyway, so that moves there. See how it's the same? Can you see it's the same? Okay, maybe if you just kind of glance, you could see it's similar. That's okay. But if you actually go in and look at each of these little features, this down and then, you know, coming up here, so you can do, let me just see if I can, okay, all that AR stuff and everything is going to be all wacky. Let's see if I can put it kind of side by side. Just to show you what I mean by these things all repeat the same patterns. Well, that is why Wyckoff detailed this, because he noticed it's the pattern. Again, it has to be confirmed by the volume. Now, I want to show you one other thing that is like going to blow your mind with Bitcoin Cash. This is why I'm really excited about it too. The chart, but also I like Bitcoin Cash. But okay, see, and do this. Anyway, if we go through here, suppose we do. I have to look at it myself. So this goes down here, up. Be kind of like this. And then it goes there. See, these are different time frames. And then here. Anyway, then you get this feature here, which is this feature here. I think. Now I have to go back and look. Yeah. Because I think this two reds would be probably this here. Yeah, then we get the up from there, back down. And just like we get the up from there, back down. I mean, isn't that crazy? And then you go up into that. Then you go up into that. So again, two different time frames. So this is on, I don't even know what the Ethereum's on. What do I have it on? Whoops. Because I have to go back to 2020, so I had to use, so that's 6 hour. This is 2 hour. So anyway, here's what I want to show you. Really, really cool Bitcoin Cash. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let's do, I'm going to open another window. All right. Let's go to Bitcoin Cash. Here, we'll do this here. So you can see where we're at right now. Let me make it full screen. Let's go to super charts. So I mentioned the, oh crap, I got all that stuff here. How do you delete all that? Alright. Sorry guys. Sorry, gotta clean it up. Hey, you know what? I'll just go to this one here. There we go. Nope. What are we doing? This one. Can't even see what I got on here. Is this Bitcoin Cash? Yeah, there we go. Let me go on the weekly. Alright, check this out. Sorry, just playing around with stuff. I know it's a lot of lines. Let me clean all that up. I don't even need any of it. See, all this stuff is kind of pointless when you're looking at... now you can look at levels and everything like that, kind of give you a target idea. But, you know, drawing shapes and all that kind of stuff, I do it all the time. We all do it, but that's how they use those things to manipulate you, okay? Except for, I mean, there are, like, for example, this whole chart is in this, what we would call ABC accumulation pattern, okay? You want to know what's crazy about all this? Okay, so this is, let's see here. That's not showing it well at all. Let me go to the 4-day. That still doesn't show it. Alright, I gotta go back to my Bitcoin Cash here. Let's go there. Delete. Oh, sorry. Delete. Delete. Sorry. Gonna take 2 seconds. 2 seconds to clean this up. Now you can do Wyckoff on the entire chart. That's what's crazy about this. Alright. So, anyway. Sorry, I don't want to lose all my lines here, but yeah, whatever. Check this out. Check this out. So what we got here is, let me hide this. MACD. All right. So I mentioned the volume. Trend line. So we've been talking about how this thing is in a ABC correction pattern, and it's breaking out, just testing the top of that trading region. Let me delete all this stuff. God, I got all these weird lines. Sorry, bear with me. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. This will be cool. All right. So how do we know this is an ABC accumulation corrective pattern? How can we confirm that? I mean, sure, it's a nice, pretty shape. You know, we talk about this resistance line up top. Let me get a better pointer. We talk about this resistance line up at the top, and this thing is in an ABC. So, in other words, you know, you have your nope. Let's do that again. So you'd have your A, yeah, your B, C, D, and then actually we have our E pattern. So that it did put in an E leg, right? But how do we know this is the accumulation pattern and that we're breaking out of this, and then we can use the height of this as a target for where we're going eventually? Okay, so it's going to take some time. How do we know we're going to be going up to 29,000? Well, first of all, because the government's going to print trillions of dollars, hand out $2,000 stimulus checks, and the inflation, folks, is going to be off the charts. You thought $15 at McDonald's was expensive? Wait until it's $30 in another year from now. So that's one. $30,000 will actually be closer to about $20,000 in another year. No, I'm not even joking. It goes so fast. My wife was a part of that in Peru, and the economy, I mean, Venezuela, we see it. Now, I don't think the U.S. is at that level. The U.S. can sustain a lot, and we've got some tools to manipulate, and our currency kind of controls things. However, it doesn't negate inflation. I mean, everything's going to go up. So, anyway, how do we know this is an accumulation pattern? Well, this line here in the bottom, you see all this here? This is OBV. Crap, now I'm going to mess up what is... Let's see here. Let's go to settings. Settings. This is... no, I forgot what to call it about this script. So this is called on balance volume. All right. So basically the basics. Okay. When the volume on up days outpaces volume on down days, then OVV rises. Okay. When volume on down days outpaces volume on up days. Okay. So basically, as it's rising, there's more people buying than selling. Okay. And look at this. So we have our trend here is, you know, going down, right? Yet the OBV is going up. This is so big. Sorry. This is how bad I am with this stuff. I'm just learning how to do it. All right. So that's going up. That's going down. So there is a buying throughout that period, yet it's going down. So why is it going down if there's more buyers than sellers? If more people are buying and the whole thing is being accumulated, right? That's how we know this is accumulation corrective pattern. So that's one indicator right there. And then we can also see, you know, volume spikes and all that other stuff. But what's interesting, so like, this is a good way to find some divergence, is to always look at that. So you can even look at it, you know, look at this, for example. So this peak here, right? Heck of a lot higher than this peak, right? Yet from here to here, look at this. You know, that's going, it's going up. So if we go there. So in other words, there's more buying here than here, yet our price is down here than up there. So this thing's getting ready to pop is my point, all right? So I hope that, hopefully that helps, that we are definitely going higher here, and just, you know, pack your bags. Like, I took out some long positions. Even more. I actually did a little leverage trading, so we'll see how that goes. But stop losses are pretty tight because I know this chart so dang well. Might as well, right? All right, let's make some money. We need it because of inflation. Peace.